Hi, it's Joe Mazumdar, Exploration Insights at the Metal Investor Forum in Vancouver, Canada, with Heye Daun, CEO of Osino Resources. And Osino Resources has a project in a place that a lot of people don't talk about, Namibia. So how is Namibia? What's the prospectivity for Namibia for gold?
So Namibia is a very stable country in southern Africa. It is, I often like to call it the Switzerland of Africa because it's very organized and safe and very un-African in many respects. It has quite a lot of mining and exploration history, but in gold it's relatively new because it has two gold mines that are relatively new, but I believe that it has a lot more potential, and that's what Osino is setting out to do, to prove that potential.
Right, you have a history of actually finding one and selling one to a mid-tier producer, B2 Gold. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, you're giving me too much credit because I didn't find it. I just defined it, I shall say. So it was discovered by a Canadian junior, and they owned it. It had about 1 million ounces when we bought it. So it was my first deal as a promoter or mining entrepreneur. So I took it public on the TSX, actually on the main board in 2010, and we raised quite a bit of money, doubled the resource to about 2 million ounces. And then during the whole sort of development stage, like feasibility, post-feasibility, early infrastructure investment time, B2 Gold approached us, and we ended up selling the project to them. For $200 million. So it was a similar gold price environment to now. I think in hindsight, they got a great deal because they built a gold mine there that's now producing around 170,000 ounces a year at very low cost, like $500 an ounce, $600 an ounce cash costs.
Yeah, and that intrigues me given the grade. The grade you were saying was about 1.6, 1.7 grams per ton, but the margins are incredible.
The margins are huge, and I think one of the biggest factors is the fact that a lot of the gold at Otjikoto is free gold. So metallurgically it's very easy. They're getting very high recoveries. There's an exchange rate benefit for being in Namibia because local costs are priced in weak local currency, and so they're operating very profitably, yes.
So basically your premise with Osino Resources is to find another Otjikoto?
Definitely. I think you've said it. So what happened is after the sale of Otjikoto to B2, other than giving me a bit of track record in the market and an ability to raise money and do these things, more importantly, it gave me conviction, deeper conviction in the potential of the Namibian emerging gold belt. So we started off initially consolidating some ground, putting the right shareholders in place, raising some money, putting a team in place, and then starting with exploration with the aim of finding another Otjikoto. That's certainly, that's our vision, and now we have made a significant discovery, and I think it has good potential to become another Otjikoto.
And you've got some significant backers from your history of working in the industry and also working in places like Ecuador.
Yeah, that was a stroke of luck, I should say. There's always luck involved in doing these things. So I became the CEO of an Ecuadorian company that had a big resource but a lot of problems. So I became a turnaround guy, and I ended up selling that company to a Ross Beatty entity. So we merged, it became Lumina Gold. And through that process, I got to know Ross personally quite well. And he took a liking to me, and so he invested in me, and with him came his whole, shall I say, entourage of other investors, which has been very helpful because we built Osino basically between 2015 and 2018. That was a time when we put it together and brought it to the stage. The markets were absolutely dead, and without him, we would not have been able to do this. So yes, I would say he is my most important asset.
Okay. And so right now, what could we expect over the next 6 to 12 months from Osino?
So we've just made a discovery which has turned us from a vision into a real project. So we used to be a greenfields explorer. We are now an advanced explorer with, on the cusp of being a developer. So that discovery we made looks very similar, if not quite a lot better than the early discovery.
This is Twin Hills?
Twin Hills, yes. The Twin Hills project looks quite a lot better than the early exploration holes at Otjikoto. So we have a lot of confidence that it will grow. So you asked me about catalysts, lots more drilling. So we have 1 drill rig turning right now. We will have another 2 drill rigs turning in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then we're going to drill continuously with 2 to 3 rigs until the end of the year, doing infill drilling at Twin Hills, step-out drilling at Twin Hills, basically growing the Twin Hills Central discovery, which is part of a bigger system, and also testing other targets in that system to try and make additional discoveries. So that's the plan between now and the end of the year.
And are you going to issue a resource after that, or are you just going to wait and then look at how much you've got?
No, we will. Eventually, the aim is, of course, to declare a proper code-compliant resource. But right now, I don't think that's important. I think right now what's important is to demonstrate and, in inverted commas, prove the scale of the system that we have. And we will do that by drilling the system. So I'm more interested right now in additional discoveries along the rest of that Twin Hills system and even on the rest of our portfolio. So once we have a better understanding what the true potential is over there, I think that's the time when we will get into proper resource drilling. Although there's, at Twin Hills we are going to get into quasi-resource drilling, but the aim isn't immediately to rush into a drill out.
Right, but you're not only drilling Twin Hills, you'll be drilling some of the other prospects in the district?
Yes, so we have quite a diversified portfolio. We've got about 45 targets. We have 3 discoveries, 2 which we made, 1 was historical, and we're going to advance all of them. But clearly the bulk of the work and the bulk of the expenditure will be at Twin Hills itself. And I should just clarify, Twin Hills is more than just the discovery we just made. That's Twin Hills Central, but we have Twin Hills West, Twin Hills East, and an answer. It's going to grow.
What, 7 kilometer sort of area, and then you're focused on a 2 kilometer part of it or something?
No, it's quite a bit more than that. It's a 50 kilometer regional structure that we identified. On that, we have an 11 kilometer significant surface anomaly in soil and calcrete. And within that is Twin Hills Central, which currently we've drilled over about 800 meters. And with this extra drilling we're going to do in the next few months, we will extend it on strike to about 1.5 to 2 kilometers, and we'll widen it out. So that's Twin Hills.
So are you funded to do all this?
We funded quite well. We just did a round. We raised $3.8 million literally 6 weeks ago. We have that in the bank. We got around $4 million in the bank. And we are funded to do this work until the end of the year, which will end the year with about $2 million in the bank, which doesn't sound like much, but in Namibia you can do a lot of damage with $2 million. So I think we're well funded into next year. So I think early next year or sometime next year we'll look to raise some more money. But of course, I think that's the plan, certainly. But right now we're revving up our activities, and that's what we're focusing on.
So any potential investor right now, what they have to look forward to is a lot of drilling in the next 6 months.
Yeah, certainly. I think there's going to be a lot of drilling and a lot of news flow, and there might be a little bit of extra consolidation of ground and that sort of stuff to further improve the portfolio. But the focus really is, now we've made a real discovery, now we've got to grow it and unearth it properly, and you do that with drilling.
All right. Well, all the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heye. Well, it's Joe Mazumdar from Exploration Insights at the Metal Investment Forum in Vancouver. Thank you very much.